Hi, I'm outside here of the Omega Boutique because I'm looking for my first mid-tier luxury watch. This is the first in a series of videos where I look at different manufacturers of these mid-tier watches and try to decide what's going to be my first mid-tier luxury watch. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of Adventures with Time. I'm your host, Bob, and here on this channel, I chronicle my experiences with watches. After collecting watches for a couple of years now, I want to take it up to the next step in watches. But before I talk about specific watches, I need to explain to you what I mean by stepping up. Am I talking about quality, price, horology, or some other attribute? Primarily, I'm talking about price. Of course, as one goes up in price, you expect the other attributes to get better as well. But here, I'm talking about steps in the price tier of a watch. Many watch enthusiasts, when talking about steps like this, include the term luxury, as in a luxury watch. Now, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines luxury partially as something adding to pleasure or comfort, but not absolutely necessary. And as others have pointed out, in these days, anything beyond a cheap quartz watch is beyond necessary to tell time. And in fact, watches themselves can be thought as unnecessary, as we have many other electronic devices to not only tell us the time, but support any of the other measurements or readings or metrics that watch complications can provide to us. But it's my video, and I'm going to take editorial license to include luxury as how I describe some of the price tiers in watch collecting. Here's how I view and define the lower 5 price tiers of watches. And to be clear, I'm only considering new watches, not resales or vintage watches. Affordable watches are those under $500. Certainly, one could consider breaking this price range down further. But for me, and this discussion, that isn't beneficial or necessary. Between $500 and $1,000, we have what I call high-end affordable. Above $1,000, we get to use the term luxury, with watches between $1,000 and $2,000 being entry-level luxury. $2,000 to $6,000 I call mid-tier luxury. $6,000 to $10,000 is straight luxury watches. I have not tried to define tiers above $10,000, as those are currently out of my reach. In the 2 years I've been collecting watches, I've purchased 17 watches at a variety of prices. Here's how they fall into my price tiers. The majority of my watch purchases, as you can see, have been in the affordable range, along with 6 in the high-end affordable range, and 1, my Sinn 104, in the entry-level luxury tier. While there are certainly additional watches that pique my interest in each of these tiers, I'm looking to get my first mid-tier luxury watch with a price range of about $2,000 to $6,000. But which will it be? Now, we could go off on a discussion as to the virtue of wanting a watch based on its price level. But let's not do that. Let's just accept that for what it is and move on with this adventure. I should state that my only real criteria in this search is that the watch should fit into a broad set of wearing scenarios. I could characterize this as an everyday watch, in that it could be worn every day regardless of activity. As you expect, there are several brands which I can and will consider. I'll make a video on each and then try to make my selection. And my first stop on this adventure is here at the Omega Boutique. But before I go in, I need to become somewhat familiar with the Omega collections to get the most benefit out of my visit to the boutique today. I prepared by reviewing the Omega website. The first thing on the website I did was order a catalog, but this will take some time to arrive. Now, I'm someone who needs to take an orderly approach when considering watch options. Otherwise, I can become dazed and lost in the myriad of models and options. So let's get an overview of the collections that Omega offers. The website offers a couple of ways to peruse their watches. One can use the watch finder to search for watches that meet specific attributes. But since I don't have any real criteria, this won't help me. Rather, let's understand the scope of each of their 4 named watch collections. Let's start with the Constellation collection, which consists of several sub-collections, either for men or women. Now, these watches appear to be more towards the dressy end of the spectrum. Whether it be the Globemaster with its annual calendar complication, or the Constellation Gents collection. They all seem to be a bit dressy, something beyond what I would expect or want for an everyday watch. Likewise, I find the DeVille collection not fitting into what I'm really looking for. So although I'll take a look at these watches when I hit the boutique, I don't think this is where I'm going to find the watch I'm looking for. Before we go on to the 2 collections, which I think hold the biggest prospect for finding a watch I might like, I should mention that there are some specialty watches that Omega offers, which I will want to take a look at in the boutique. And now on to the Speedmaster collection, consisting of the Moonwatch line, the Speedmaster 57, the Mark II, Racing, and some other special editions. Of these, I think the iconic Moonwatch is one I definitely want to consider. Now, the collection that probably holds the best chance of finding something I like is the Seamaster. This collection consists of the Diver 300 meters, the Aquaterra 150 meters, the Seamaster 300, Railmaster, the Planet Ocean line, and a few other special editions, including the newly released Diver 300 meter James Bond limited edition. Within the Seamaster line, I think it's the Diver 300 meter that best fits what I'm looking for. Now, having a good handle on what Omega has to offer, I'm off to the boutique for some hands-on inspection. Once at the boutique, my first stop was to the Speedmaster counter, where I had to try on the Moonwatch with the Moonphase complication. This stainless steel watch is just over 44 millimeters in diameter, has a black dial, and that Moonphase complication. A really beautiful watch that I would love to have, but with a price tag of almost $11,000, I think is a bit out of my price range at this time. Then I tried on the iconic Speedmaster Moonwatch Professional. Again, a stainless steel watch with bracelet and a black dial. This watch comes in at 42 millimeters and is available with either a Hesalite crystal at $5,350 retail or with the sapphire crystal for $1,000 more. I think this is a great mid-tier luxury watch that would fit nicely into my collection. Definitely one to consider. Then it was over to the Seamaster counter, where I tried on several color patterns of the Diver 300 meter watch. First with a blue dial, blue bezel, and matching blue rubber strap. This is a stainless steel watch that comes in at 42 millimeters in diameter. The basic blue version is retailing for $4,900. I also tried on the black version of this watch on a bracelet, which is a bit more at I think about $5,200. I also tried on, just for kicks, a blue and gold stainless steel watch. This one isn't to my liking, which is probably good because it's up around $9,700. Another version of this Seamaster 300 meter is this ceramic version on a black rubber strap. This one comes in at 43.5 millimeters and is going to set you back $8,100 retail. Although not to my liking, I had to try on the Seamaster Planet Ocean, another 43.5 millimeter watch. This one retails for $65.50. And finally, I tried on what's called the Seamaster 300, a stainless steel 41 millimeter watch on a bracelet. Somewhat understated, but still a very fine looking watch. Well, I'm sure glad I reviewed the website before going to the Omega Boutique, because with all the options, even within one of their collections, it can be very confusing to figure out what watches to consider and what not to consider. And after going through this exercise and looking at all the options from Omega that are available, I think there are two that fit my needs. First is the Speedmaster Moon watch, probably on a stainless steel bracelet with a Hesalite crystal and a black dial. This is a great watch that has almost limitless wearability, although I am a little concerned that having a chronograph might not fit into all dress situations. The other alternative, which I think is a great one, is the Seamaster, specifically the Diver 300 meters, again on a bracelet in stainless steel with a black dial. I think this is a beautiful watch, fits right into that mid-tier luxury band, and would be a great everyday watch. So these two are definitely on my radar. I think these two are no-brainers, and I doubt there's any viewer out there that would disagree with me. But if you do, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe I'm going off track here. I'd also like to hear from you what mid-tier luxury watches you think I ought to consider. On my list already for consideration are the likes of Tudor, Tag Heuer, Grand Seiko, maybe Breitling, and Rolex, although Rolex, with its availability for stainless steel sports watches, has another problem to it. But please let me know also what you think I ought to consider in the comments below. And to make sure that you're alerted to the next of these videos that I publish, please subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as I post it. Thanks for watching.